This video is sponsored by Alcid E-Homes, whose mission it is to accelerate the advent of sustainable, healthy living systems around the world. Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla News, episode 63. SpaceX wins a contract from NASA to send people to the moon. And the Tesla Model 3 and the Porsche Taycan goes head-to-head on the racetrack once again. And the Cybertruck made a public appearance at the Gigafactory 5. And the ID.4 gets in the hands of Sandy Munro. And the Model 3 wins yet another award. Getting a bit boring. The Tesla Model 3 always wins. But all this and much more on today's episode. Let's dive right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
2 weeks ago we saw Tesla bursting the French bubble and becoming the best-selling EV in the country. And now Italy joins the list. Tesla is back at the #1 spot for best-selling EV in Italy with 1,363 cars sold in March. And as in France, the runner-up is about 25% behind in March. And in Italy, the runner-up is the Fiat 500e with 1,056 cars. The Volkswagen ID.3 is not looking so strong as we have seen here in 2021 with only 270 cars sold, 80% behind Tesla's Model 3. That's not only the best-selling EV, but it's also the most expensive one on this list. And even if we look at the EU-EVs.com list of registrations of EV in these 11 countries, the Tesla Model 3 is by far the best-selling EV. The runner-up is 68% behind Tesla. Very impressive. Even if we look at brands, Tesla even beat Volkswagen in March in Europe. So it looks like Tesla is really keeping up their momentum in Europe, even though we know that the Made in Germany Model Y is coming in less than 4 months from now. And the Model 3 even became the best-selling EV in Germany without the factory in the country, in Volkswagen's home turf. Very impressive. And just remember, Tesla is of course ramping up as fast as they can and selling every single car they make, but they are still only in about 40 countries so far. And every time they start in a new country and really start ramping up, we see the sales numbers go to the moon. Just like in South Korea, where Tesla's sales jumped 5 times compared to the year before, when the Gigafactory 3 really started ramping up. And according to Ray for Tesla, the first batch of Model Ys is coming to South Korea soon from the Gigafactory 3. The first country besides China and North America to get the Model Y. So yeah, Tesla has just begun and has so many countries they still need to come to. So I do expect their explosive growth to continue. And even more impressive is what Tesla has been able to do in the world's biggest car market in China. And Tesla reached another milestone in China as the Model 3 became the best-selling mid-size sedan in China of all vehicle types in the segment, not just EVs, but cars in the world's biggest car market. Very impressive. And yet again, we have the Tesla Model 3 performance on the racetrack against the Porsche Taycan Turbo S. In a recent held all-Japanese EV Grand Prix race at Fuji Speedway in Oyama, the event's flagship EV1 category featured 5 Model 3s from several different teams, but this time around the event also hosted a new formidable electric car, the Porsche Taycan Turbo S. The organizers of the all-Japan EV Grand Prix race was quite excited about the vehicle, and the Porsche did of course do very well, and recording the fastest lap in the race at 1 minute and 55 seconds. But surprisingly enough, the Porsche Taycan Turbo S did not take the overall overall win of the day. That honor went to the little humble Tesla Model 3 performance. The Porsche Taycan Turbo S came in at 5th place with a total lap time of 25 minutes and 30 seconds, just about a minute slower than the Tesla Model 3, that did the race in total lap time of 24 minutes and 29 seconds. So if the Tesla Model 3 took the 1st place and the Taycan took the 5th place, who took everything in between? Well, if you can't read it from this, I will simplify it a bit for you. This is the top 5 ranking. Number 1, Model 3. Number 2, Model 3. Number 3, Model 3. Number 4, Model 3. And number 5, Taycan. Yes, the Model 3 is just one of the absolute best compact luxury sedans in the world. And that is not me saying that, well, it was just me that said it, but Motor Trend has just come out with their list of best compact luxury sedan. And the number 1 spot, above BMW's 3 Series and the Audi A4, sits the little humble Tesla Model 3. Congratulations Tesla with yet another win for the Tesla Model 3. I have lost count of how many times the Model 3 has won something, but it's way above 40 prizes so far. Just amazing. And let's take a look at another great car coming from Tesla that might even be better than the Tesla Model 3, the Model Y. Recently, Xihu Automobile completed a teardown of the made-in-China Model Y. The firm carried out a comprehensive analysis in terms of body construction technology, internal interactions, electrical system, battery safety, etc., and concluded that the Tesla Model Y is undoubtedly the most integrated electric car to date. Previously, it was believed that the level of joint use of parts of the Model 3 and the Model Y reached 70%. However, it turns out that is not the case. In fact, the car appeared to share about only 25% of similar parts. And to me, this just shows how far Tesla has come. I think the reason why there is more difference between these two cars than first expected is that Tesla has found so many ways to improve the car and have implemented it into the Model Y and will later come to the Model 3 down the road. And some already have, like the octo-valve and heat pump in the car. But after the Model Y was disassembled into 8 pieces, testers found a large single-piece rear casting. The researchers noted that while only one part of the car is made of a single piece casting, Tesla is already well ahead of the industry. Thanks to this technology, this part of the car can be lightened by 10 to 20%, which significantly reduce the design cost and of course give the car more range. And the initial numbers of connection points has been reduced from 700 to 800 to only 50, and the production time has been reduced from 1 to 2 hours to 3 to 5 minutes. Man, the other OEMs are screwed. How do we keep up with something like this? And this is only from the rear casting. Just wait until the Berlin version that will have both the rear and the front casting. Man, this is just so exciting. And remember about 5 years ago when everybody was talking about the old OEMs and how their big advantage was manufacturing. Elon be like, hold my beer. Damn, they have just been left in the dust. Just look at Sandy Munro, taking a closer look at how Volkswagen have built their otherwise good-looking ID.4. But when he lifted the car up, he was not so impressed with the way the car was built.
From a structural standpoint, this is a little overdone. There's cross car beams all over the place here, which are expensive, and I don't know exactly why all these things are here. Normally when you have a new design, a new modern design, you try not to do too much of this stuff. If we look back here, you can see all of the paraphernalia that was in the underneath that hood. You can see that there's plenty of couplings, hoses, things going all over the place. Again, this is a brand new platform. I wouldn't be expecting to see this much stuff going on. Usually you try and refine a design and make it so it's much less complicated. You'll see that it's basically a coil spring over a shock absorber. a little stabilizer, and that's about it. This is kind of what you see on Toyotas and Hondas and all the less expensive vehicles. When we looked at the Tesla, we were pretty amazed to see what we would see if we were looking at a Bentley, or sorry, not a Bentley, if we were looking at a BMW. These forgings right here, these are called semi-solid aluminum forgings. There's one here, and then if we go over here, there's another one there. The reason that this has to be here is because somebody, for some reason or other, made a mistake. That's why they're arced like that. These are things that you should be able to design out.
Yeah, I kinda like the ID4 for what it is, but this just shows us that Tesla is not only leading in the battery, the electric motor, the charging infrastructure and so on, but now they are overtaking the old boys on how to build cars. Very, very impressive. So, built smarter and is much faster. But Lars, it's not just about the specs and 0 to 60 time. No, exactly. In your everyday life, the ease of use is one of the most important things. And Sandy has a really hard time finding the next charging station in his ID4. This might not be a software problem, but just a problem with bad software.
Charging. Let's go and see if we can find something. Okay, now locations. Okay, add a position. If we were in a Tesla, this would already show a bunch of maps. And I got to make sure that there's nobody in back of me. You know what? This is like the wrong time to... never mind. So I see here data. Let's do this. That isn't what I want. Where's charging? It tells me where the charger is. Well, that's nice, but that's not what I want. Locations. Add a location. What? This thing doesn't tell me where I need to go. What's going on here? I'm gonna have to go into a parking lot or something to figure this one out. It was easy. It was easy with the Tesla. I mean, you just pushed on where you wanted to go, which charging station you wanted to go. This is...
Yeah, just get them on why. We did see the Boring Company's tunnels in action last week, but now we also learned just how affordable a ride in these tunnels are. The riding in the Las Vegas Convention Center Loop Tunnel is not just going to be much faster than taking a taxi, even more affordable than ride-hailing service such as Lyft. As of April 13th, Lyft charges about $14 for the McCarran to the convention center, or about $11 from the stadium to the convention center, or about $11 from downtown Las Vegas to Las Vegas Convention Center. The Boring Company will do those three routes for just $10, $6, or $5. Yeah, this is going to be such a good showcase for this kind of transportation system that every major city in the world is gonna want one. And the Boring Company is by far the cheapest. The Boring Company tunnel only cost $52.5 million to build. This made it far cheaper than other shortlisted projects. An above-ground transportation system from the Austrian-based company was estimated to cost about $215 million to complete. And the Boring Company's tunnels are 10 times cheaper to dig than most other tunnel companies. Yep, the Boring Company is going to do just fine. And Gigafactory 5 in Texas had a famous visitor. They are working 24/7 at the Gigafactory 5, but everything seemed to come to a stop when they got a visitor. The Cybertruck showed up at Gigafactory 5. Oh yeah, it also had a semi-known passenger, Mr. Elon Musk. That is leading by example and speaking to the many workers who are putting up the biggest factory in the world in record time. So the Cybertruck was just down there checking out the site where all its siblings will be made. And I just think this is so cool seeing the Cybertruck at the construction site, because I really think this is going to be a very normal sight in the future to see this tough truck at any construction site in the US. This is the absolute best construction and worker vehicle on the planet. And we see some pictures from Gigafactory 4 Tesla on Twitter from the night, where we really can see all the machines that are already up inside the big building. getting really close here. And meanwhile, they are clearing a lot more land. Just look at these pictures, also from Gigafactory for Tesla. That is a big area. Looks like they're ready to build a whole new factory there. Well, they probably will. I believe this is for the battery factory. And if you want to see more, don't forget to follow Albrecht, the man behind Twitter account Gigafactory for Tesla, or his YouTube channel Giga Berlin. And at Gigafactory 3 in Shanghai, we saw the new road into the Gigafactory being almost done. And in the background there, we can just spot the new area where Tesla is starting construction of what I expect to be the new factory of the compact Chinese-made Tesla. And on the construction site over on the other side of the river, we see a lot of stuff going on. And now with the new big machines, that it's going to put all the pillars into the ground. And we see the new stamping area really starting to take shape, and the new R&D center is coming along nicely, and so does the new north part of the factory, which I really don't know what it's for. So a lot is still going on at Gigafactory 3, even though they are pumping out 35,000 cars per month. But they are not even close to being done. And we got a leaked email from Tesla to a semi-truck customer revealing some improvements to the truck. We have seen semi-trucks spotted showing the new design changes, but it was not all cosmetic. As the leaked email stated, the most important changes were technical upgrades to the vehicle's architecture and drive. So we know Elon Musk has tweeted about the semi-truck having even more range than the 500 miles they showed on the reveal, but we did get some new information here as well. And I just love when Tesla reveals a concept vehicle and the real thing is always better in every single way. Not like Mercedes that just shows off a cool concept car and the real one looks much more ordinary. But the email also reportedly said that Semi will be able to charge extremely quickly. How quickly is still unknown, but as we know, Tesla is working on developing mega chargers that can charge at speed in excess of 1 megawatt. I'm still hoping the Cybertruck will be able to use those mega chargers. That would just be sick. And Tesla's solar roof proved its worth, even though it was blocked by ash for 5 months. Austin Flagg, who lives in Los Angeles, have bought a Tesla solar roof for 1 year ago, but did only get 93% of the energy estimated by Tesla. But this was actually very impressive because the solar roof was caked in thick ash for about 5 months because of California wildfires in 2020, until it was cleaned out by professionals in January 2021. But even with this disadvantage, they still got 93% of the estimated energy and got their energy bill down from $2,245 to only $152, including fees. That is a yearly saving of almost $2,000. Yep, in the future, every new home built will have a solar roof. It would be insane not to do it. And speaking of new homes with solar roof, LCD Homes, the sponsor of this channel, has also been doing some progress at their community in Black Oak, Texas. They are expanding their 550 homes at Black Oak to now feature 740 homes. That is going to be running on Tesla solar power and power walls and so on. It's going to be very exciting to see this community when it is all done. And if you want to learn more about LCD Homes, this little Tesla community, you don't have to wait much longer. I will have a video ready for you guys next week explaining what LCD Homes really is and what exactly it is they are building in Black Oak. So stay tuned for that. We have talked about Chinese government being a little afraid of Tesla's camera recording and sending their information to the US, but now we hear from Tesla China VP that Tesla will store locally collected data in China in compliance with Chinese data management law and regulations. So that's cool. And what's more, China welcomes autonomous vehicles on country roads, which will pave the way for Tesla's full self-driving in China. So this is very good news for Tesla's full self-driving in China. And speaking of full self-driving, Elon Musk did give us a target date for the full self-driving subscription. He wrote on Twitter, "Button timing of May is aspirational. It depends on how well the limited beta of version 9 goes, but I would be surprised if the wide beta, aka the button, is later than June. Full self-driving subscription next month is a sure thing." Nice, which also means that the limited beta version 9 is going to be rolling out very soon, if there is a chance of the button in May. So this is very cool. Within the next month or two, we could see a lot of mind-blowing progress with Tesla's full self-driving software. Can't wait to try this out myself. Looks so cool. And we have a lot of cool news from SpaceX. Vice County, Virginia leaders are working to connect more students to Starlink's satellite's internet service. Amid the COVID-19 that forced schools to close last year, teachers realized many students did not have reliable internet at home to participate in online learning. The Vice County School District, located in a rural region of the U.S. state of Virginia, did a survey within their community that showed that nearly 30% did not have internet service at their home and 40% of students did not have access to reliable high-speed connections. The school district is now collaborating with the U.S. government and SpaceX to provide free satellite internet to the rural community and schools. Yep, the Starlink is going to become a game changer in so many places around the world, and of course earn SpaceX billions of dollars. And SpaceX workhorse, the Falcon 9 rocket, is about to take a trip to the moon. Japanese iSpace is to deliver the Rashid rover to the lunar surface, and iSpace selected SpaceX as the launch provider to propel its lunar lander to the moon atop of a Falcon 9 rocket. This mission is currently scheduled for 2022 from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida. Wow, SpaceX flying to the moon next year. What a crazy world we're living in. I'm loving it. And Elon did tweet that Starlink could exit beta this summer and be working on moving vehicles later this year. Ooh, nice. And the new and improved SN15 will hopefully fly next week, according to Elon's tweet. Going to be so exciting to see how this one goes. But SpaceX might have got some competition. According to Entrepreneur anyway, following the successful takeoff and landing of the New Shepard rocket, Jeff Bezos is hot on Elon Musk's heels. Yeah, well, I guess that made a good headline, but hot on SpaceX heels, they are certainly not. Actually, SpaceX did just win the $2.9 billion contract with NASA. Starship was the only vehicle selected to move forward as the human landing system for NASA's Artemis program, beating out Blue Origin and Dynetics. So that is pretty huge news that NASA is betting on SpaceX Starship to go to the moon and land humans again. And just look at this picture of some of NASA's evaluation of these three companies. SpaceX was by far the cheapest with their $2.9 billion bet on the project, but also just look at the evaluation of management of SpaceX. Outstanding. And I couldn't find a more fitting picture to show you than this one from John Krause. That is tweeting all these awesome pictures he takes about SpaceX, and you can actually buy some of his shots on posters if you like. But just look at this picture. Yep, Starship to the moon. Crazy times, my friends. But speaking of competition for SpaceX, former SpaceX executive Jim Cantrell is starting up a new company and hopes to become the Henry Ford of the space industry by mass producing rockets, trying to get the cost down. His company is called Phantom Space, and it's going to be exciting to see if they can be any kind of competition to SpaceX. And don't forget, SpaceX and NASA is targeting a launch on Thursday, the 22nd of April, for their second manned mission to the International Space Station. And both the Falcon 9 rocket and the Dragon crew capsule have both been flying before. Yes, these astronauts is going to fly to the International Space Station on reused rockets and spacecraft. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this news show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. Tesla has been chosen to become an organ transfer vehicle in Nuremberg in Germany. No, not Nuremberg, not Nürburgring, Nuremberg. And Tesla was the choice, even though both Audi and BMW's headquarters is in a radius of just 100 kilometers. Ouch. And the Polestar 2 comes in two new configurations, one with about 30 miles more EPA range, so now getting 260 miles of range EPA, but cost 2,000 euros less, so that's nice. And the other is just a plus package that adds some new features like glass roof and a new heat pump that should give the car about 10% more range in cold weather. And Xpeng show off their new smaller EV, the P5, that should be more affordable sedan to compete with the Tesla Model 3 in China, and its big brother, the P7, is already lower priced than the Model 3, so we should get an even more affordable one here with the P5. So going to be very exciting to see how well it does compete with the Tesla Model 3. Audi also came out with a new model, the Q4 e-tron, with a start price of about $50,000, with up to 520 kilometers of range WLTP, so longer range than the original Audi e-tron, but with a smaller battery than the original. So looks like Audi is learning here, so that is good. If you're looking for speed, this is not the one for you. It does a 0 to 60 in 6.2 seconds, that's the fastest one, and the slowest one does it in 9 seconds. Top speed 160 or 180 kilometers an hour, and it only has 125 kilowatt charging speed. So nothing special or exciting here, just another one of Audi's cars being electrified, so that is of course good. This is from 2018, but I have never seen it before, so just wanted to share it with you guys. A Tesla Model X towing a semi-truck in snow. Yeah, that's Tesla power. And resident in the capital city of Alaska will get to experience an all-electric zero-emission bus. It will be the first battery electric bus, which goes into service starting on April 14. This will be the first electric bus owned and operated by the Public Transit Agency in the state of Alaska. Nice. And before we end off with a bit of fun, I just want to make a quick shout out to my newest patrons and members of this YouTube channel. James Sato, Audrius Valatka, Bubba Conway, John P. Boney, Rose Williams, Daniel Sijik, G. Geisler, Paul Stafford, Sean Gilmore, and Steve Foucher. And my thank you for watching, members: Jonas Edelman, Martin Robel, Terence Caggett, Gerard Cohn, Mitko Mitev, and my Be Nice and You Are members, John Finnegan and Philip Osell. Thank you so much for all your support. I am doing this all by myself, but you guys are all the producers of this show. Thank you. And let's end off with a bit of fun. COVID have changed a lot, but also made people very creative on how to train, even though they can't get to the gym or the ice hockey stadium. That is all we have time for in this news show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really means a lot for this video. And if you did like the show, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on future episodes just like this one. If you are already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. If you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of the show and get your shout out here on this channel. You can also become a member of Best in Tesla YouTube channel and get shout outs and some extra perks. Hit the members button to find out more. But going forward, I will make more videos available for Patreons and members only, so don't miss out. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I tweet all the news and more in there as it comes out. And check out the merch store to support this show and get some merchandise. And now it's also possible to support this show without buying anything, becoming a member or a Patreon. There is a link to a donation option in the show notes. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice. That's a tongue twister for a Danish, guys. Proof it's worth. And Tesla's solar roof. Proof it's worth. Even though it was covered by ass in... No. It was not covered by ass. Covered by ash. It was covered by ash. Oh.